It's like we never stop hearing about hairstylists, hair salons, weddings, what else? Influencers doing stupid crap. We're going to talk about, not influencing stupid crap, a hair salon doing something kind of stupid. We'll talk about hair bleach, right? Bleach can be very damaging to your hair when it's not done right. I think we've all had a moment where we try to bleach our hair a little bit. When I was younger, I did like streaks of bleach through my emo fringe and my hair just frazzled up and died because I didn't know what I was doing, right? We've all made hair mistakes like this, but you don't really expect things to go wrong when you're paying someone or getting a professional service. So this is Avila? Just reading the screen name, I don't know what that says, who went to a Bella Gloss beauty salon and probably had one of the worst experiences imaginable. Take a look.
If you're in Little Rock, Arkansas, and you're looking to get your hair done, I'm warning you right now, don't even consider going to Bella Gloss and Plaza Frida. Unless you want your hair to look like this. Fried, damaged to the max. This is not what I asked for at all.
Sorry.
From the very beginning, my appointment was going horribly wrong. I booked my appointment a week in advance. I go there today. I'm 5 minutes early to my appointment. As I'm walking into the salon, I say good afternoon. There's two girls working there, Jenny and Lupe. None of them said anything, and I'm like, okay, it's fine. They're busy. I sit down. 6 minutes later, Lupe finishes up with the person in her chair, and she comes up to me. She's like, what can I do for you today? And I said, I booked an appointment at 3 o'clock with Jenny, and this is what I want done. Jenny's like, oh, she could start with you. And I'm like, okay, it's fine. She could start with me. Anyway, we proceed to go and wash my hair. As we come back, Jenny's finishing up with the person in her chair. Another customer walks in and she's like, I'm here for the blow dry. And Jenny's like, oh yeah, go ahead and have a seat. I'm like, what about me? Anyway.
Yeah, what about you?
As Lupe proceeds to prep my hair, she's looking at the pictures that I'm showing her and I'm telling her I don't want any blonde.
Okay, so let's take a look at these pictures. This is like a brown honey at the end. Not so much caramel, more like a honey. And I mean, I'm looking at our client here, and that's not it.
I want my hair to be a brown, honey brown, light brown to bring out my complexion. I don't want any blonde at all because that shit looks ridiculous on my skin tone. So Jenny comes over and then she gives her instructions on what to do to my hair. That's the first red flag. I'm like, whoa, that threw me off because it's my first time ever getting something done to my hair, any color done to my hair like this. I always struggled to get my hair past my shoulders, to grow past my shoulders. This is the longest my hair's been in a while, just for it to get fried, deep fried by Jenny. Anyway, I don't say anything. I let Jenny blow dry that lady's hair. Another customer is walking in as Jenny's blow drying hair, and she's like, are you Jenny? I want to get a haircut. And Jenny's like, yeah, give me 25 minutes and I'll be right with you. And I'm like,
Stop.
what about me? I booked an appointment a week in advance. And as she's saying that, I turn around and I look at Jenny and I'm like, hey, Jenny, I specifically booked with you because I know you have more experience. I've seen your work. It looks decent. I like it. And this is my first time ever getting something done. And I just want to make sure that it is what I want. Jenny is like, okay, that's fine. So they switch. As Jenny's working on my hair, she's making remarks like, oh, she doesn't have a lot of hair. She said it like 3 times. And that bothered me because, like, come on, like 3 times is really unnecessary. So I say, since I don't have a lot of hair, that means it's not a lot of work. So I'm not gonna pay too much. And they're like, ha ha ha, they laugh it off. Anyway, the vibes were so off. I don't say anything. I'm like, okay, it's all gonna be worth it. I'm gonna get a change I never had before. I'm gonna look better. Anyway, as Jenny's working on my hair, she has her 2 toddlers. Mind you, I don't mind kids at all, but she has 2 toddlers and they're throwing tantrums. They're kind of like running around, throwing things. The siblings are fighting with each other. They're wanting to go outside, and Jenny's like having to look at the door every time, making sure that they don't go too far where she can't see them. And that to me is very unprofessional, especially if you're working on somebody's hair. This is what it leads up to.
And let me just say there, listen, sometimes you can't help but maybe bring your kids to work. You don't know what happens with childcare, whatever. Even if you have childcare, some people can't get childcare. Fine, whatever. However, let me just say this here. If you cannot dedicate all your time and attention to coloring hair, because that is a timed process. It's very precise because you're using chemicals. Remember, this isn't just hair stuff, it's chemicals, and it changes the structure of the hair, right? The color of the hair. If you cannot pay enough attention to your client at this point, cancel the appointment straight up, or you end up with this.
I didn't say anything. Anyway, she's done putting the foil paper in my hair, for the bleach. And then she's like, okay, just sit down right here. She did offer me a drink and a snack, and I thanked her for it. Anyway, 30 minutes passed by, and she's outside the salon talking on the phone, and then with her kids as well. I understand. But I'm like, shouldn't she be checking in my hair every, like, at least 10 minutes to see?
So anyone who's never had like a head of highlights or a balayage or a bleach or something like that, when you're bleaching the hair, more often than not, you would go over to your client and just take a little peek behind those foils and see what's going on, you know?
See how the bleach is doing? No. So I call my mom, and I'm like, hey, Mom, this is what's going on. And my mom's like, get up and go tell her, like, hey, you should be checking up on my hair.
Yeah.
Anyway, 45 minutes passed, then another 25 minutes passed. So I'm like, okay, it's been too long. And then I go outside. Never once did she come and check on my hair. So I go outside, and I'm like, hey, Jenny, I think my hair is ready now. And Jenny's like, okay, yeah, I'll be right with you. As she's proceeding to wash my hair, take the folds out, I apologize to her. I'm like, hey, Jenny, I'm sorry if I'm being really nervous. It's my first time ever getting something done to my hair. I told her I struggled trying to grow my hair past my shoulders. And she's like, oh, you don't have to worry about that. It's all right. I got you. So I'm like, okay. That makes me feel a little better. I trust her.
Sorry to keep interrupting. That's what these videos are. Okay, to have a client at this point, while you're putting color in or bleach in the hair, still be nervous about your plans and what's happening for their hair is kind of concerning, right? In any beauty industry practice, there should be an element of consultation to a point where you both clearly understand what is going to happen and what is going on. And I don't mean saying like every single bit of your job, like, then I'm going to do this, then I'm going to take a 5-minute break, then I'm going to do it. Just so the client knows, we're going to sit with the bleach in for this long, I'm going to check on it, see how it's developing. But she should be coming over as well, being like, just checking on the developing. Oh yeah, that's coming along nicely. There should be this element of not taking care of your client in a way that's like stopping them from being nervous. There should be this element of being the expert, and your client knowing what you are doing and trusting you makes you the expert, you know?
Anyway, the whole process, we're almost to the end. It's like I'm there for 3 hours. We're almost to the end. And then we go back to the chair. She's blow drying my hair. And then I kind of glanced at my hair. And I'm like, Jenny, is this the final color? And she's like, yeah. I started crying, bro. I started crying once I looked in the mirror because it was not what I had asked for at all. It was not what I had asked for. And I'll show you guys the pictures of what I showed her. And then as she was working on my hair, I specified to her several times, I do not want any blonde. I don't think that looks good with my skin tone. I want a light honey brown.
This is, the color we're seeing here is like this gray, green blonde. It is not a light honey blonde, not even close to honey, not even close to caramel. It has no warmth to it. That is verging on gray. It looks like, and you know, not to make a situation worse for this person, it looks like the grandmother from the Addams family. This isn't a professional job in any way.
Burst into tears. She's like, that's what you asked for, honey. And I'm like, I show her the picture again. I'm like, Jenny, are you sure? Are we looking at the same thing? And then she's like, she got offended. And I'm like, Jenny, this is not what I asked for at all. And then we kind of went back and forth about the right color. And I'm like, well, what can we do? And she's like, well, you don't have to pay if you don't want.
I'm sorry. If you are coloring hair and you are unable to see that this color is a completely different color from the pictures, the reference pictures, then you should not be coloring hair because you have no understanding of color. They are two completely different colors and different ends of the spectrum, cool and warm. That's wild.
So I called my mom, and mom was like, She told me she was like, get out that chair, get up and leave. She's not willing to be polite, to apologize for her unprofessionalism. So I got up and I left, and she was laughing in my face. She was like, as I was walking out in tears, bro, because my shit is so damaged. It's so damaged, bro.
It's so bad. It is really bad.
I purposely didn't do anything to my hair because I was waiting for it to grow past my shoulders. And this is the first time I ever get something done to it. And she fucked my shit up. This is not honey brown. This is fucking blonde. And it's exactly what I didn't want. And I'm warning y'all right now. Do not go to Bella Gloss.
Absolutely insane. The whole situation, right? Imagine paying somebody for a service, again, because it's a service that uses chemicals and you have to have some training in them to get the right result. It's not just a box color. It's not as easy as whacking it on your head to be like, yeah, it's fine. You know what I mean? This is a proper like process to get the right tones, to get right pitch and depth of color. And then the way the hair is being treated after as well. Frazzled, fried. That is horrendous. I feel so bad for her. Hair is so important to a lot of people, especially when you're growing it long. There's no worse feeling than a terrible haircut, than getting a haircut that you hate or getting a color that you hate feeling shit. There's an apology, if you can believe it.
Since a lot of y'all had a question on my last video, here's my explanation. I had a client who was unsatisfied with her service. She showed me several pictures. I thought we had agreed on the color. I did the whole process. The hair was natural, curly texture, and when you bleach hair, the texture of the hair will change. But that doesn't mean it's damaged. I was about to finish the process, so I was drying the hair, and that's the reason the hair looks puffy, but that doesn't mean the hair was damaged. The customer got upset.
You've damaged the hair. That's like straight up bleach. It's not even the color. You just put bleach in the hair. That's not, you've ruined the hair.
And I asked her how she felt about the color. I gave the customer options of how I could correct the color to her liking. At that time, the customer was already upset and it was hard to keep a good communication. I insist to correct the color, but the customer called her mom.
Why do you have to correct the color in the first place? Mistakes happen, absolutely. Like this, though, that drastic difference of color, if it came out too red, I could understand that. If it came out slightly, I don't know, more yellowy than expected, I could understand that. But this is nowhere near the color.
After she spoke to her mom told her to leave the salon, so I told her that she doesn't have to pay for the service. I want to make this clear that I never laughed at her or made fun of her, not even when she was insulting me when she was leaving the salon. The reason I didn't contact the client was because I was getting insulting text message from her. I care deeply about my clients and my work. I will take this as a lesson to keep growing for the better of me, my family, and my clients.
That end bit was weird as fuck, wasn't it? That was really weird. That was probably one of the worst. It wasn't really an apology. It was more like, this is what happened. Again, that mistakes happen for sure. Absolutely. But like that. Okay. Let's see what our main person had to say.
So it's been about a month since my video went viral, and there's almost 2 million of you guys waiting on an update. I know there's many of you that want to know what I decided to do with my hair, what are the steps and what are the products that I've decided to take to help me heal from the horrible hair salon experience. Now, before we get into that, I want to give you guys a little bit of context, a little bit of background story, so you could better understand how we ended up in this situation. So here it is. Now, at the time when I made that video, it was coming out of a place of frustration because at that moment, I feel like my hands were tied and there was nothing I could have done about what had just happened to me. So coming into this app and warning others about my experience in that salon was the best solution that came to mind at that moment. I definitely underestimated the power of this app. When I made the video, I never expected it to make it out of Arkansas, to reach almost 15 million views is insane to me. I was getting comments from people from the other side of the world from where I'm at. There was people from Australia, the UK, Africa, Iraq. Uh, it was crazy. And shout out to all of you guys for taking the time to show your love, your support, sharing words of encouragement, advice. It really outweighed the negative experience I had from this salon. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Now, there was definitely a lot of negative comments too. And, you know, as humans, the negativity always stands out more than the positivity. So there's a few things that I want to clear out. Uh, Now, the reason why I booked with Bella Gloss specifically is because I've had interactions with the owner of the salon previously a few years back. I worked at a hairdress boutique that just happened to be owned by her mother-in-law. And the time that I worked there, I've never had any bad interactions with their family. I got invited to family functions, so you know, there's a few times that I interacted with her, and it was never anything bad. So when I finally decided to do something to my hair, I decided to book with Bella Gloss Salon specifically because I wanted to support a Latina-owned business. And I've seen her work on people that I've known. You know, I've seen them in person. I've seen their hairs. Every time it looked great. So
And even on their Instagram, they have pictures of her hair and it looks beautiful.
that's also another reason that motivated me to book with this salon. It was never about the price. Actually, when I booked my appointment, and I went to my appointment, I had $500 in cash in me. I had my debit card as well, just in case it was going to be more. So, but the money was never
Wow.
the issue with why I went to with this salon. Now, because I got along with their family, I assumed there was no reason for malintent. So I decided to trust this professional, trust the process.
Yeah, you do when you pay
Because
for
in my
yourself.
head, I thought that it was all going to be worth it at the end. So that's a reason why I also decided to stay after all the red flags that I've seen. Also, when I went into my appointment, I wasn't really educated on the process of hair coloring, as my main focus was to get my hair to grow.
Okay, I'm gonna say it, when you pay for a service, it's not really up to you to be the expert or to know the process. Yes, it's quite nice to, right? But ideally, you don't have to. You shouldn't have to know the process of every single thing. It's nice to educate yourself on it and be like, how can bleach affect your hair? What's the treatment? How do you look after it afterwards? But how you get there is the reason you are paying someone else.
Grow and be healthy. When I walked in and you know I sit down in the chair, they were looking at my hair. I didn't even want to get my hair washed honestly because I had taken a shower that morning of, and my appointment was late in the afternoon. So they offered to wash my hair, and I was like, well, I washed it this morning, so it's not dirty or anything like that. And they were like, well, do you have any products in your hair? And I said, well, yes, this morning I left some leave-in conditioner in my hair. They were like, well, that may affect the coloring process, so we're gonna go ahead and wash your hair. So I said, okay, that's fine. You guys do what you have to do. But I was not aware that you're not supposed to wash your hair before, you know, a coloring appointment. So that
Again, this is where consultation comes in. And to be fair, why is there no patch test? Usually when you have a color, you go in, you get a patch test, so to do a little bit of a bleach or color on you to see if you have any reaction, right? That's something that, saves your skin, but also saves the back of the salon because they don't want you having a reaction. And then they're like, okay, we can't do anything now. Your skin's peeling off around your head. So there should have been a patch test. And it also should have been that, okay, when you do this, then don't put anything in your skin. That's what I would tell my makeup clients. 24 hours before, I'd be like, please don't over prep your skin in the morning. Leave that to me. I'll do that. Don't do anything. Just wash your face. Leave the rest to me. So there should be consultation and expectations set out by the professional before this. Because if you know that shampoo, conditioner, washing your hair is going to do something like this, that should be said before. When she comes in, have you washed your hair in the last 24 hours? Oh, we're going to have to wash it. That's also going to change things. Even if you have to cancel the appointment, it is better to say to someone, your results are going to be better if we do it this way. If you can explain why you're doing something, why you have to change something, even if it's negative, you're the professional. explaining why you have to change something or why something is wrong, even if you've done it wrong, you're still the professional. Can you? Uh, Her hair comes out like this. Okay, your hair's like this because what I've done is it's overdeveloped, or I left it on for too long, which means that the chemical. I don't do bleach, so I don't actually know the thing. They do this. The way we can fix this is this. I'm still a professional. I know why the mistake happened. I'm not trying to cover it up by being like, oh, it's fine, it's fine. That makes you instantly unprofessional. You know?
That's something new to me that I didn't learn from until I
It's not your
posted
job
that
to learn
video
that.
and there was people commenting that. So honestly, it took me by surprise that the
You're not
professional
providing the
was the
service, it's
one that
fine.
offered to wash my hair
Mm.
before coloring it. So now another reason why I decided to stay after the many red flags is because I had an event to attend to. My little
Oh
sister was
no.
performing in this event and she invited me to go watch her. And as a older sibling that had hardworking parents that didn't or couldn't afford time to dedicate to my events, I wanted to show up for her. So with this event coming up, I also hesitated to leave. I honestly said trust the process with this.
Again, don't blame her. You trust the process when you're paying someone. Keep saying it. When it's in the hands of a professional. If you have an event to go to, you don't want to turn up half done with your hair all crazy, you know? So yeah,
And
same. I
it's
would do
been
the same.
about a month since that video went viral, and the main reason why I hesitated to make that video was because I expected somebody from that salon or somebody from that family to reach out to me and try to clarify things, try to make it
Yeah.
right, or at least an apology.
Right.
But till this day, that hasn't happened. But I felt like it has been long enough. I've been silent for many weeks, so it's finally time to give you guys an update, let you know the steps that I'm taking to recover from the dryness, from the damage. So I'm gonna make another video, go look at it. But in the meantime, I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of that background story so you could better understand why I decided to stay through the many red flags. Yeah.
As I always say, when these brands mess up and do these kind of like weird apologies, I guess it is more likable and makes a person trust you more if you had come out and said, this was the mistake that happened. This is where it went wrong in the process. Let's fix this for you. Not only do we know what the issue was, but we also know how to fix it. And that is what we are, and that is what we do. Let me know your opinions below. What would you do if someone fried your hair like that? I would be pissed off. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you again very soon. Bye.